What's up, y'all?
Did your voice crack? That's not getting cut either. Oh my gosh. Alright.
I'm a man. I'm a big, strong man.
Episode 2 of
Dad talks. Or children talk, apparently.
Yeah. Alright. I know it looks a little different in here because we're filming this one at night, but we actually tried to film this earlier today.
Try to have a nice day shoot.
But I had Oliver for the day, and he just wasn't having it. So
yeah,
it
was about 5 minutes in. Cut it off.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, I'll roll about 2 seconds, and when I tell the camera I gotta go. But yeah, but I don't know. It still looks cool in here.
Yeah,
it's a little different with the window not being
backlit, but it's fine.
But
still got the garage vibes.
Heck yeah.
What we were going for.
So we got a little more of an agenda today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say a little less off the cuffs than last time.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure it out, but I'll say we have some structure today, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because we're gonna go over some of our goals for the year, and we got a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, dude, an incredible amount of questions. I was shocked and
I don't even know if we'll be able to answer all of them.
I don't think so.
But hopefully we get to all of them, but just see how much time we have. But
yeah,
we got a good bit of questions. Go over some goals, but first off, just want to see how your week was.
Dude, I think it's been a pretty good week. Had a little bit of a date day yesterday. Went to Annapolis. Amelia spent time with the grandparents, which was pretty cool. Loved time with her, and I picked her up early from daycare today. I was able to go on a walk, stuff like that, and that was a ton of fun. I love my time with her, but just to get a little bit of time away and recharge and kind of connect. It was what we talked about last week. I almost said yesterday. Just making sure that marriage is taken care of first, or relationship, making sure those bonds are strong, because that helps you be a better parent.
Oh yeah.
I think Kirsten and I are trying to make sure that we always hit that. Not always great at it, just because being a parent, the lack of time, but it was good. We went to one of our favorite taco places called Vita Taco. Got a purple drink. It's a half margarita, half sangria.
Nice.
Absolute favorite.
They're not paying for the ad spot, by the way.
No. That was a free shout out.
If you have a restaurant and you want to,
we will. We will. No, but it was a good time. How about you?
It's been good. This past week, I actually started paternal leave, which I know a lot of people don't have the luxury of getting that, but I guess the job I can't even talk. My job falls under a certain tax status, so they have to offer that to any fathers. But I got to choose when I take it. So nice. Taylor took her time off, and then now it's switched over to me.
Yeah. So how long do you have off?
I have off until the end of March.
That's
so
awesome.
I get 12 weeks. It's paid. It's not my full.
Is it a 3/4 kind of pay?
Yeah, it's 3/4.
Nice.
Of but still 3/4 of pay, to be home with Oliver and
being home, be dad. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
That's
it's
so
definitely
sick.
I'm definitely shocked at how little free time I still have. I thought I'd be able to get him to go to sleep, and maybe watch something or work on some video stuff, but
play Xbox realistically.
He is a full-time job.
Yeah.
But it's been good though.
That's awesome.
So it's been a lot of fun. That's pretty much my week. Was my first week on paternal leave.
That's awesome. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Bunch of time with him. It's always nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
I thought you were about to take it somewhere.
I was going to, but I didn't know where.
Yeah.
I was thinking about just a branch off of the weekend, just keeping up with our lives. Have you watched any movies lately that you're super stoked about?
Not stoked. I will tell you this. I was stoked for it until I watched it. So on Netflix, maybe some of you heard it, maybe you haven't, but I watched Rebel Moon. Have you seen it?
Unfortunately. Yeah. I was so mad about it.
I wouldn't say it's the most awful film, but man, is it not good.
It's pretty close to the awful film. I was like trying to describe it to Kirsten as like the slowest moving rushed movie I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Like, it had no story build, but then the whole story was told, and I was like, what just happened? Like, no direction.
Dude, it was just, to me, it was just cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like a gimmick.
It felt like the Justice League trying to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like the bad version of the Justice, not the good, long, extended cut.
Same director, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I made
I know,
the
I'm just telling
reference.
them. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, man, like, I was just so disappointed. Because when I watched it, I'm just not a big fan of, like, his, like, the cinematography
slow
that they
motion
use in his movies. But also just the plot was so, it felt like a ripoff of every desolate sci-fi film.
Yeah.
But without trying. Like, it was the most stereotypical script, but then let's add in, like, this attractive cast and hope that people will see them and not care about the plot. Like, I don't know what the case was.
It worked for the first, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, disappointed for sure. I don't know why I turned off the rant and rebel movie. I think I still feel pain from The Last Jedi. So now every time I see a film that I'm hyped for that just completely falls flat, I'm so mad.
So when we were watching it, Kirsten had actually made that reference about, she was like, so just as good as episode 8? And I was like, yes, because they're both so terrible. And then she went to bed after 15 minutes, so
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Makes sense.
On around the same note, is there any music that you're currently listening to that you're like super stoked about?
Dude, if you guys got to get down with some Marty Robbins. If you don't know Marty Robbins, he's like a Western ballad country artist from like the 1950s. But also, I've been checking out. I love his music. I don't care. It's pretty weird, but it's really good. But I really like Bennett Coast.
Okay.
He's this. He's pretty popular. He's got like 500,000 listeners on Spotify, but I actually found him on YouTube
Nice.
because he does really cool music videos. He like directs them himself.
That's
So
awesome.
it's pretty cool. But his music's it's kind of like a beach rock kind of vibe, I guess. He's been around for a few years, but his stuff's pretty good.
Nice.
What about you?
Pretty underground, but I've been listening to Noah Khan lately.
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Yeah, who's he? Dude, I don't know. I've been listening to a bunch of his older albums because I know he's gotten super popular lately, but his old stuff was like those late nights that I come home, like I'm driving home from work. It's like 11 o'clock at night. There's nobody on the road, on the highway. It's absolute emptiness and just so desolate, and just his music turned all the way up. I don't know if I want to cry or like sing it at the top of my lungs, but maybe all of it all at once. It's like hitting me in like a nostalgia feel that doesn't make sense because I don't know his music like that, but that's still how it, like the emotional strings of like just pure nostalgia. It's like he has a little bit of that like southern like country grassroots sound to him, even though he's from New England, but
Yeah, he's got that like that cool like that mountain folk vibe to him.
yeah, I don't know if it reminds me to the old country music that I like listened to growing up with my mom. It's like my mom was like pure 80s, like 70s, 80s, 90s country. It was like that's all I listened to as a kid. When I was anytime I was in the car with my mom, and I don't know if it's like that kind of feel, but it gets me every time.
I love that you had to throw in the fact that you like his old stuff.
I do like I found his new stuff
Classic
first.
cool guy.
Nah, dude, Dial Drunk was the first song I ever heard from him, and I just kind of went backwards.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love Dial
just
Drunk.
joking.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Paint me as a cool
to,
hipster.
You had to put that
Yeah.
dig in there.
Yeah.
Like, you would. But no, that's cool. Yeah, I think his stuff's really good. His song Maine, I think, is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, that.
Because it's not as known as like Stick Season.
Yeah. No, it's pretty off the beaten path.
Yeah, it's off the cuff. I'm just kidding. But, he's pretty sweet. So
Nice. Cool.
yeah,
So, do we want to dive into the goals?
let's just get right into it.
Get after?
Yeah, get into the goals and then we'll get into the heavy hitting questions. There's actually a few that I think are
Yeah, there's a
pretty
ton that have some weight
pretty
to them.
deep.
We have some nice visuals today.
I have this nice whiteboard. I just realized I can't see the monitor, so I can't tell if it's in frame or not. But yeah, we have this cool little whiteboard. We're gonna throw in our goals.
We can hold her up.
Yeah, if it'll ever stand up. But these are like our goals for the podcast, for this channel, as well as like some
Personal goals.
ones. I realize I need to stop saying like, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I've said yeah a million times, so I get it. I get it. So do we want to shoot off some podcast goals?
Heck yeah.
For sure. Say, I mean, one of the biggest goals is that we want to be consistent. I think it's like making sure that we're obviously filming every week and putting something out every week was like our biggest thing.
Yeah.
I'll let you do the honors. I'm left-handed and it won't do it.
I'll do it.
Oop, I'll hold her.
All right. Jeez. Just gonna put 2024 goals.
I love it.
And then we'll do L and H. It's hard to write like this.
Yeah.
But we need to bring in
Some consistency.
Yeah.
I love it.
But which is why we're filming this right now.
Yeah, I would say we missed out on the opportunity to film when we normally would, and we wanted to make sure we still hit it, still got it done.
We're filming this like, because we have to. I just said like. We have to film this now so we can have time to edit it and get uploaded on Wednesday.
Yeah, we want
for
consistency. That was good. Elementary school teachers.
Yeah, I know.
Man, on that same note, I guess would be to get eligible to be monetized. That's a lofty goal, but it is one of them.
We want to make money from this so we can keep doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to pursue it, make it a passion.
That's horrible handwriting, but it's really awkward from this angle.
It's better than mine. Oh man. And
then I know we have. So our goal isn't just to do just podcast stuff. So the podcast, no matter what, for our consistency is going to be every week on Wednesdays.
Making sure this episode happens every week.
But we also want to do some like full, like long form. I said like again. We want to do some full long form videos, whether it's travel content or us just like making like doing some dad stuff.
I was thinking we brought up like last week with the whole overland vehicles, the S10 that we want to like redo. Like so many projects that we have in mind that we can create cool content with and show and share.
Yeah, so it's been our dream for like the last 3 or 4 years to build a mini ramp.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere to skate in Delaware. So having that just to kind of add to this vibe of the garage and make this the hangout spot, the mini ramp is key. So doing a video, but also having the mini ramp. We're just going to turn this place into a nice studio. Yeah,
I'll say for our photography, videography, make it a nice place to work, come hang out, like make this the place that we want to be to create content and to pursue our dreams.
So I'd say like, say it again. This is so stupid, dude. I'm so bad at this. It's gonna get better. It's only episode 2. But long form. Oh my gosh.
Grammar's hard.
I'm gonna just redo that. So long form videos, that falls under the projects, travel, all that stuff, but just doing content outside the podcast that we can have fun with and try to like reach a new audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
do you have any other ones for the podcast? Those are the long form videos is
I think that's
a big passion of mine.
That's a huge goal for us. I'll say this is. We keep saying it's so hard, and we will get better about talking and being consistent with our conversation. But like this is a little more easy and more organic for us than filming, I think, long form videos.
Definitely,
so like it's easy to have a conversation. It's not going to be polished or perfect, but we want to make really cool long form content, like show like be able to, I think, adequately like share like how we feel like emotionally with everything.
Yeah, just really going all in on growing, not just with content, but really showing our video skills and working on editing and just trying to grow in general.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think making content like that's going to be huge.
I agree.
So
I agree.
that's why it's a big one for me and us especially.
Yeah. I think this kind of goes along with the consistency, but the tough it out, like, it's going to be hard, but, making sure that we are constantly hammering something down. It's like, whether it be this episode or doing the long form videos, making sure that we're doing it, even when it's hard, I think is a big thing. I guess we can hit some personal goals.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll start off with...
Ooh, with me.
Yeah, I switched the name to now it's Hawk and Leb.
Hawk and Leb. I like it. I'll see, I can write these.
Yeah.
Maybe. Bear with me being left-handed with a whiteboard. I think a big goal for mine is actually to hit 175. That's pretty lofty for me. Because if I don't eat 100, I would say it's like, if I don't have 3,000 calories, I drop weight. I have everybody's dream.
Yeah.
So
this dude has to try to gain weight.
It's the worst.
I decide I'm in the mood for a burger and I just put on 10 pounds.
You're welcome. Get to 175. I'll say I can just hammer these off because I know my goals. Start my photography business. My handwriting is awful. I'm so.
What does that
just
say?
leave it alone. So I would say the biggest thing for me is like creating my business plan, and that's something that I've wanted to sit down and do, but like hammering down the details of obviously like my LLC, and then actually like creating a structure to funnel in clients, I think would be a huge thing. Is like I keep talking about it this past year, but I think having a structure would really help me get somewhere, and then also I think with that is like show my art in my photography, because I don't want to become like another cookie cutter. Like I can take your family photos. Like I want some depth, and I want people to come to me because they enjoy visually what they're seeing. I think that'd be a huge one. And then I'll say start short-term videos. I don't know how to word that properly. For my channel. It's like my personal channel. I need to put something on my personal channel.
Yeah.
Whether that just be for me, if it goes nowhere, I'm totally fine with that. But putting myself in more, we had talked about last time, more uncomfortable situations. Putting myself in front of a camera that's not just a conversation, but actually trying to create something broader, I think would be really good for me to stretch my creative. Because I think that's something I struggle with. So I'll pass it to you. Cool. Pop some goals.
All right. My first goal is to follow the consistency for the podcast. I also want to be consistent with my own channel, because my ultimate goal this year, I guess what I would say, is to get better at video, which is kind of what started all of this, all these facets, to make that my job full time. So kind of I kind of like said 2 in 1 right there, like start my media business. Jeez. And post on my personal, well, I really can't write, but my personal channel, which is just also Leb, so pretty easy.
Yeah, that's a nice plug.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find it, which so hopefully I've already been working on a video that should get uploaded soon, but my goal is to be consistent on there as well. So I also wanted to take more family trips.
That's huge.
It's kind of a random one, but
No, that's huge.
like since we've had Oliver, it's been really hard for the 2 of us and him, like the 3 of us all together, to go somewhere, just because he's so young and so small that it's just an ordeal. But my plan is with this year, as he's getting older, we're not as worried about him getting sick and stuff with him being so small and little, to just do some more things as a family. I feel like that's kind of been not lacking. Maybe it's been lacking, but I think it's just been all Oliver the past 7 weeks or almost 8 weeks now. And so it's been hard for Taylor and I to connect.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, as you know, you guys went through it. Like, that early stage, it's really hard to...
It's all involved on
exactly.
the kid. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
making sure you create time for yourselves, and then being able to also spend time with him at, like, conjoining all of you together. That's huge.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So those are kind of like the things that I want to achieve. It's funny because this Start Media business was actually on my goal list for 2023. And it never happened.
Just roll it over.
Just things. This is like, that's why I'm glad we're doing this. This is really going to keep you motivated. But then this last one is just like a fun one. I'm going to finally get my 4x4 old, it's very specific, old small truck. I don't want an F-250 or something. It'd be sick if I had one of those.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll take it. If you want to give us an F-250.
But my goal is to have basically a glorified four-wheeler with a truck bed that I can put a rooftop tent on.
Yeah.
But my goal for this year is just to at least get the truck finally so I can start taking that camping and then eventually take Oliver camping with me. Yeah. That's kind of my goal. I want to get it all now, start to get set up so by the time Oliver is 4 or 5 years old, it could really...
Yeah, chip away at it for that time.
Because I know that it's not cheap. So that's kind of why I want to go ahead and knock this out and then build on it. But it's kind of just a fun one. It's not really a...
It's still a goal.
Yeah, it's important to me. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about that.
Cool. Oh, shoot. I forgot a personal goal of mine.
You dummy.
I know. Well, you're talking about your truck. I didn't even think about it. Get that engine swap done.
Yeah, get that S10 running.
Get that S10 running.
Is it painful every time we film one of these episodes? You're just going to
and I see the engine in the back behind the camera?
Engine's right. You can't see it on the camera, but engine's directly behind the main camera, and then the S10 is directly to our left.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a killer every time I walk in here and it's not done, but...
I mean, it's killer to me because it used to be mine, and now I look at it and think...
What could have been?
What could have been?
What could have been? Oh, man. Yeah, I'll say I had talked about this before. I want to get that thing driving this year. I want to rip that thing.
Yeah.
So...
It'd be fun when Amelia can learn stick on it.
Oh, dude. I can't wait to teach
sick.
Amelia how to drive stick. Or you can teach all of her. I would say that'd be appropriate in the same truck. So
I was about to say, it'd be sweet.
Cool.
And then one day Oliver's going to be driving Amelia in it.
Don't
talk about that.
He's going to drive a Pontiac Fiero, the gigantic center console.
Oh, true. Yeah, don't want
a bench seat?
No bench seat.
You're out of your mind.
But yeah, dude, I'm excited about this. Man.
Dude, it's stoked. And this, like, accountability, this get us moving.
Cool.
I'm excited. Sweet. You want to transition?
That was an excellent transition.
Transition into some questions?
Heck yeah, let's get into it.
We
got a lot, yeah.
Some of those are lofty. Lofty?
We gotta set this up somewhere so we can't...
She'll be hanging in the garage after this episode.
Yep.
Cool. Dial into some questions.
That's it. Yeah, I sent them all to Chris.
Whew.
Just rip it off.
Dude, these are...
Ripping off the Band-Aid with a good one.
Dude, this is the first one you sent me.
Who's it from?
Zachary. I'm blind in one eye. I can't get this last name out. 2276.
Zachary San Vicente.
San Vicente.
2276. I think this is a YouTube question. This
is a YouTube question. As someone in their early 20s, what do you do when you feel like you are lost and without direction in life? I and another friend of mine have experienced and are experiencing this currently.
Dude, that's deep.
We're just diving in.
Man, I think I'm kind of saying this from experience because we've kind of dabbled with the photo video stuff since high school, honestly. Yeah. We've always, whether it was with a phone or it was with a crappy's a bad way to put it, a lower end camera.
Yeah,
because you can make cool stuff with anything.
Back in the videos for high school.
Yeah, we made videos for high school.
Yeah,
we've always been making them. Like I was thinking about this the other day. I've been making videos since I was like 4-5 years old. We have a little camcorder, and then there's footage of me literally directing my siblings. Eli can barely talk. He's my youngest brother. I'm telling him like what to say for these scenes. I need to find the video so I can we can show it.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to think about when you really think about it. But the problem is I didn't pursue it till now, late 20s. So I think that's my biggest piece of advice would be, when you find something you enjoy doing, regardless of what it is, don't tell yourself that it's not something you can make a career out of, because especially nowadays, you can make a career out of anything more than ever.
Yeah,
with social media and the technology we have at our disposal. So I think that's why I would say it's really cold in here.
it is cold in here.
Yeah.
That's probably the first thing we're going to invest in when we monetize this channel is a heater for my garage, because it's just cold. The only thing it does is block the wind. It's still 40 degrees in here, which is not great.
Sorry to get off track with ADHD, but I started talking fast, so I was like, I'll explain why.
Yeah.
But I'd say so to wrap that all up, I would say, I know it's really tough and it's scary in your early 20s. I know I went through I still go through some depression phases still, because we're not really there yet. It's stressful, but I know early 20s I went through it really bad of just feeling lost. But I wasn't going after anything. So I would say, whatever that thing is that brings you joy, it doesn't matter if you think it's silly or whatever it is, try to be the best at it. You don't have to make a career, get paid for it right away, but whatever you do, just keep doing it and try to get better. And it sounds cliche, but that's what I would say from my advice.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's solid. You want to move to the next one, or you want me to tackle
You
this?
do know if you want to throw in your two cents.
What the early 20s is hard, because I would say that I've gone through 3 career changes of what I thought I wanted to do from when I was 20 years old. My life is completely different than what I thought it was going to be. I think my biggest thing is being able to stay malleable, just with everything you're going through, is learning that you can just soak it all in, and you can take aspects of things you've learned from your 20s. Everything I've learned from all the jobs, the interests, the things I thought I was going to do with my life, I think have translated into help me now. It's even just my ability to talk to people and to communicate during photo shoots. I don't think I would have had that if I never would have gone through the jobs that I've gone through. It's I wouldn't have felt comfortable telling people how to pose and how to do directions unless I had jobs where I had to stand in front of people and communicate and show a little bit of hey, authority of do this, do that. I think it's just I don't want to say enjoy the ride. That's terrible, but
it's truth to that.
There's truth. Yeah, you'll figure it out as you go. But I'm 28. Yeah. And I'm still trying to figure it out, but I found a passion and I want to hammer in that. I want to make sure that I keep pursuing it because it excites me, because I'm excited doing it. I'm going to be taking some headshots tomorrow and I'm doing it for free, and I'm okay with that because I'm growing and I'm learning. So, enjoy the ride. It sucks hearing that when you're in your 20s, but find something you're passionate about and lean into it. And it doesn't have to make money in the beginning. Yeah.
I guess that makes me feel just one more point on that same question is, you're not going to have it all together at this age. So, that's just a big takeaway. Don't, if you're getting down because you feel you aren't doing something, or you're not where you're supposed to be, that should be cut that out, because nobody's where they're supposed to be at that age. And if they are, they either had some type of help, or they just got a little bit lucky. And some people get lucky and it's awesome. It's just okay, but you can't compare yourself. Whatever, in the moment, the best thing you can do for yourself is to go after what it is you enjoy and keep it as simple as that.
Yeah, I think that's huge, because not being where I'm supposed to be is my mantra right now. And Kirsten could tell you that. My wife is absolutely always being well, of course you're not where you're supposed. You're gonna keep growing. So I think it's the big thing is 28. And, still want to be somewhere further, and I think that's a really cool human desire, is just want to be better. You have a drive. That's awesome. You have a drive to pursue something. That's a good installment inside you. So
I feel like that question, you could just
we could ramble, dude. I probably should have started with something different.
But that's a good one. So
cool.
Thanks for sending that one in.
Yeah. I'll let you ponder for the next one.
Yeah. Mace, so first Mace with a C, second Mace with an S, said, can't wait for more content. Maybe a photography vlog. Ooh. So I know it's not really a deep question, but
No, I mean
that's one of the things you
it's
might
in the cards.
put on this channel. So
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something that I think I would absolutely be able to put on my personal channel too.
yeah,
Because that's something I'm passionate about, and I can easily talk about. I don't know the most, but I know a little more than someone who just started, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
that's something I definitely haven't done as much as late.
Vlog.
So that or vlog, but I mean doing photography in general.
Yeah.
I've kind of not really had time for it. I've been really like getting into video, but photography is what created this whole thing. When
Yeah.
my friend Drew found a film camera, called me and said, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Sure." Found it for cheap at a thrift store. I started shooting on film, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever!"
Yeah.
And then I haven't even shot on film recently.
Yeah.
So, but that would be fun, just to do a cool photo walk or like video where we just try to make a goal and go after it and see if we can capture something cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
Sweet.
Thanks, Sarah. Even though it's kind of not really a question, but kind of like but
I liked it.
yeah, it's cool. It'll inspire us to do something because I haven't done photography in a while. So, all right, this is from Marky Mark.
Marky Mark. Already a cool dad.
I know. Dad of 3 now, right?
Dad of 3.
He said, as dads, have you felt a shift with your perspective on life? And then he follows it up with Christopher specifically. When did you feel it since you've been a dad longer? And for me, he said, congrats on the baby. Appreciate it, man. But he said, it's only up from here.
This is true.
He said, so his question was, have you felt a shift with your perspective on life? And then when did you feel it? This is more of a question for you.
Oh, man. I don't want to... I think the shift happened gradually while Kirsten was pregnant. Because there's that disconnect of, like, being the man. It's like you don't feel the growth of the baby. Like, you see your wife or your partner, like, just getting bigger, and not, like, the bad way, but, like, obviously growing a human.
Nice way of phrasing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Make sure Kirsten doesn't watch
Kirsten
this
was a
episode.
beautiful pregnant. Don't get me wrong. She was glowing the whole time. But, like, you know, there's that... They get that connection the entire time. They feel every move, everything going on with the baby. And it's like, as a dad, you don't get that. Like, sometimes you'll put your hand on the belly and there will be a kick every once in a while if you're lucky. But, like, the moment I held Amelia... It was, like, before that. Like, we were in the hospital and... there was so much going on with Kirsten's labor and things like that. And, like, having to, I guess, just, like, the first time that I had to be, like, I'm dad, like, put the hat on, like, make sure everything was taken care of, like, getting to the hospital, making sure my wife was happy and taken care of through labor as much as I could. Obviously, she was going through tremendous pain, but I think that was, like, when everything shifted of, like, my life is devoted to these two. Like, I know that we talk about a lot, like, wanting to pursue our passions and not lose who we are, but understanding that, like, I'm on the back burner. I'm still cooking. Like, I still want the back of the stove on, but, like, I'm not the main dish. Like, that the fact that they are the two that are, like, need to be taken care of first, and Amelia is my number one. I think, like, as soon as I held her, dude, it was just, like, absolute shift for me. And especially now, like, watching her do things and watching her grow is probably the most exciting thing. It's like I love pursuing my dreams, but watching my daughter, like, play and grow and, like, seeing her, and now she has this play kitchen we got for Christmas, and she, like, cooks and she stirs stuff, and she'll, like, take the spoon out and she'll eat it and then, like, put it back in stir and then try to feed me, which just ends up being boogies at that point because, you know, she's just playing with play food. But I think it just absolutely shifts the moment you have the kid, and, like, my perspective is just I'm number two, and I'm okay with that. Like, I want to pursue my dreams, and I want Amelia to know that, like, I'm chasing after what I want as an example, but, like, also whatever that girl needs, drop of a hat, dude. Absolute drop of a hat. I would do anything for her. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that was kind of like a word vomit there. But
No,
like,
but that's...
just how, yeah.
I'm sure that completely answered Mark's question, I think. So
Cool.
hopefully Mark got something out of that.
Love you, Mark.
All right, this is from L13.
L13.
This is our friend Leslie, who he lives in Vegas now, but
The man.
That dude always supports everything. Like, if I ever post a video or anything,
Oh, he's watching
he
it.
always comments on it.
Watching.
So I appreciate him a ton for that. But his question is, how many diapers I'm finna need the first month/year?
Dude, the first month, that's on you. You're experiencing that right now.
Yeah, dude. He said in quotes, "No babies anytime soon for your boy though." So, but not the fact that you said that, you might be screwed.
You might be having one sooner.
Yeah.
Next guest star.
Dude, I would say you cannot put a number on it.
No.
The amount of diapers you will need is endless.
It's asinine.
It's ridiculous, man.
Dude.
That's just all I gotta say on that is be prepared to wipe a lot of butt.
Dude, my favorite is every morning Amelia wakes up with an absolute soaked wet diaper. I'll change her. 5 minutes later, destroys it.
Yup.
Poops, it's every morning. It's like I'll literally change her. We'll sit on the couch together. She'll be drinking her milk, and I just hear her rip the fattest fart, and I'm like, sweet, that was a really nice diaper for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Though, a nice piece of dad advice is that every diaper, unopened boxes, you can take it back to any store and just get a different size.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you haven't opened a box of newborns, take it back to Target, take it back to Walmart, just get the next size up.
Yeah, it's another thing because they're not cheap.
No, they're not. So,
I will definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah,
I think we
absolutely.
have 1 or 2 boxes of newborns, so.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all the. Whoa, what the heck? Those are all the questions
From YouTube.
From the YouTube comment section. So, but I also posted. I have a group for my Instagram channel. So these are some questions from that, and the first one is, do you think you want more kids in the future? I'll let you go first, and I'll follow up with my answer.
I would love one more. I think. Maybe not now.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year or two. If my wife's listening. Right now. No, I probably think in 2 years would be really cool. I would love to try for a boy. I know every dad, every man is I want a little boy. I'd love to pass on my family name, but a nice caveat is if I have another girl, I'm still through the roof. My daughter's incredible, and I would love to be a girl dad.
Yeah.
I have no problems with that, but I can't afford more than 2 kids, so we're stopping there. I'll bite I'll bite it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 girls would be sick. I mean, my one right now is perfect, and I do know that from past experience of my mom being a nanny and owning a daycare, baby girls are just easier to raise at this stage, because
what about when they're older?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I'm not at the older part yet. I'm not there. Thankfully, I have my wife to help me with the older problems, but right now it's she's calm. She's just a calm kid, and I know 2-year-old boys are not calm. So
yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. You're excited to drop him off over here. Play dates with Amelia's.
I am.
Yeah, so I think one more would be sick, regardless, boy or girl.
Yeah. I think it's a tough question for me, because I think about the relationship that I have with my brothers. And we've definitely gone through some phases where we were not friends. Did not like being around each other very much, but that's just normal. But I don't know. I think about playing sports and stuff. We did all this stuff together. Skateboarded, or tried to. We would playing wiffle ball in the backyard is one of the most core memories I have with my siblings. Not that you can't get that as an only child, because you just do it with friends versus siblings, but I don't know. I just think there's a different kind of bond you have where you might not be as close as you are with a best friend, but it's a different kind of bond. Where you just have this there's this person you were raised together in the same environment, and whether you talk to them every day or you talk to them once a month, you're just gonna fight for that person no matter what the situation is. So.
Yeah, that's.
So I think that's cool. So I guess I just answered my question.
Yeah, I guess you're having another one.
Guess I'm having another kid. Jeez.
Hope you're ready, Taylor.
That deep person. My initial thought was I don't know if I want one. I just talked myself into it. So there you go. But only one more. Same thing as Chris. I can't afford more than 2. So
inflation's crazy.
Jeez, I don't know why I just talked myself into it. And this question, I'm just going to move on before Taylor gets any ideas. not dad related. I'm trying to get to every question. So not dad related. What's your side of the story with meeting Isaac? I love how this person says it like side of the story as if me and Isaac hate each other.
Yeah,
like there's beef.
Or they know Isaac's side of the story.
Did Isaac say something about
I don't
how
know.
he met me that's not true?
You tell me. I haven't met Isaac.
I don't know. So Isaac, if you don't know, is currently on JSTU. But me and him are good friends now. I'm going to say used to be friends. We're good friends now. I just don't live in Colorado anymore. But we just met skateboarding. And then through that, over the time, becoming closer, worked out that he got hired around the same time as I left. Not by any reason, it's just coincidence. But yeah, that's it. Nothing crazy.
Sweet.
Then, I can't see the names, by the way. I wish I could. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Part 1, this is a 2-part question.
Oh, Lord.
How has your life changed since having your baby? And then what advice would you give to a new father? We've kind of gone over this, but...
Yeah, I mean, huge advice is that diaper advice.
Yeah.
But I think I had said this earlier, like answering Mark's questions, like, you know, perspective change is like your whole life does shift. Like you are now in charge of another human, but also being the rock to your partner. It's like that's dad is like not only taking care of the kid, but also trying to make sure that you're there emotionally and physically for, you know, your partner. I think the best advice I can give is, dude, be patient. Like, you're both learning. Like, you and your partner, you're both learning how to be a parent together. And you're not going to get everything right. But I think, you know, being patient with each other, being patient with this kid, like, especially, like, you know, those late nights, just crying, and you don't know what to do, and they just keep crying, and, like, you've checked all the boxes, you've changed them, you fed them, you burped them, and they're still upset. And it's like, there's a point where you just need to, like, sit there and be like, all right, cool, I'm good with just comforting this kid the best of my ability, and understanding that it's going to work out. So,
yeah, I think that was perfectly said.
Cool.
Sweet. I guess I will say one thing on, like, the how has my life changed is I'm a lot more motivated. Because I guess I was going to say that earlier, but I just feel this, which is kind of why we're doing all these projects now and set these goals. Like, I just feel, now that I have a kid, I'm more motivated to do these things. Not just because I feel stressed to provide financially, but it's important for me to show my son, at least, that even if nothing pans out, I tried.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge key.
I think there's, like, the trying prospect and, like, understanding that your kid knows that you tried to pursue something, but also the desire to leave something in your wake. Like,
yeah,
you want to leave some sort of legacy for your kid, regardless of what it is or, you know, how big it is. But, like, your kid to look back and, like, think about you and being like, my dad did all of this. Like, I think that's huge.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. The next one is, this is a pretty good question. How should young men prepare for having a family, just being a teen?
Just being a teen?
I think that's a good one. Like, I think they're asking, I don't think they're saying they're going to be a dad as a teen, but
how do you prepare for that?
How can you prepare for fatherhood even when you're not close to being a dad?
I think, like, we kind of touched about it when you and I were, like, taking a walk earlier. I think one of the biggest things is to try to grow emotionally.
Yeah.
I think is huge. And, like, I don't want to say read books about it, but things like that, but understanding the way that you think and the way that you feel, I think is huge. Because, like, when Kirsten and I first got together, I wasn't calm-headed a lot, and that was a problem. I was a short temper, like, and it could be something dumb or, like, a comment made, and I would not be okay. And my emotions would just, like, erupt, and I didn't know how to control myself. And that spewed into our relationship, which in turn, being a dad now, like, that spews over to my kid. Like, I think just focusing on yourself, like, it sounds cliche to say that, but, like, just grow in who you are. Grow emotionally. Try to lean in and be the best version of you possible.
Yeah, I guess to piggyback off that, I would kind of just back up what you're saying with prioritizing yourself, like, in not a selfish way, but just making sure that you're making decisions based off of, I don't know, like what you think is right. Like basically don't, I'm trying to think what to say it, but without repeating what you've already said.
Yeah.
But I guess keeping yourself out of situations where you might do something you regret.
That's
or
huge.
like obviously you want to grow emotionally, but it's tough in a relationship when you've done something or had experiences that could get brought up later in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just kind of keep it generic, but that's just another thing to think about, is prevent yourself from doing things that could cause problems later in your life when you are a dad or your family as a whole. So
Yeah. I think as a man too, this is like a little caveat. Being okay being wrong.
yeah.
Like it's okay. Like admit when you're wrong, like own it, like grow from it, like whether it be like in anything, just like the ability to say that was my fault, that was my bad, and own it, I think is huge in being a man, but then a father and like a good partner. So
100%. Sweet. The next question, does the lack of sleep cause a lot of friction in the relationship?
that's on you, bud. I haven't had that problem in a while.
The short answer and the right answer to that is yes. But it's not too bad, but
I think you get used to
Yeah.
the lack of sleep. It's like your body gets used to waking up every 2 to 3 hours or whatever. You guys are 4 hours now? He sleeps through?
It's 4 hours, and then every now and then it's just kind of like he just wakes up randomly. But for the most part, it's 3 to 4 hours.
And you wake up for 30 minutes to an hour, and then you're back to bed?
You gotta feed him, get him to go back to sleep. But it's not too bad. I think we tried to do like the schedule or the alternating thing. I get him this time, you get him next time, but it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely times where you feel frustrated with your partner. Taylor a lot more frustrated with me versus me frustrated with her.
Good throw in there.
Yeah. But it definitely can cause problems if you let it.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, it hasn't been too bad. With it being caused by lack of sleep, I'd say. And then he follows up the question with, does it also cause issues at work or with others? I would say yes. Not in like a confrontational issue, but I fell asleep at work one day, and not my boss, but one of the people who are above me just walked into my office, and I'm just knocked on the desk. It was so embarrassing, but it wasn't that big of a deal because my job's pretty cool, and she ended up just laughing at me and saying, "Don't do that again." But I don't know, it was funny, but definitely I think it's important to make sure you're managing it to where it's not affecting you at work, because it definitely affected me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm on paternal leave now. But
Try to catch up on a little bit of
that
sleep.
was brutal. All right. And then this one's from Isaac. I only know because the profile picture. He says, so he has it's back-to-back questions. Are there any sports or activities you will involve your kids in ASAP? And he follows it up with, how important is it to share your personal values with your child? So it's kind of two questions. But I guess we'll start with the sports one because I can just do that really quick.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to get Amelia into sports, but at this age, she's 16 months. I'm not going to force anything, obviously, for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think when she's older, either I don't think I'll force her into anything. I'll give her options. I want her to be active, but I also want her to give her the freedom to choose. But I would love to push her towards something that I don't think would be a dead-end goal.
Yeah.
Because, women's sports, there's certain ceilings, and I'd love to be able to push her into one where the ceiling is much greater. I'd love for her to get into skateboarding like me. I think that's something, if I would have pursued when I was 14, I'd be a totally different, I don't want to say different person, but obviously I'd be leaps and bounds of where I am skating wise. And that, especially her being a girl, if she's ripping at 16, dude, sky's the limit. So I don't know. I'd love to push her in that direction, but I'm not going to force her.
Yeah. I would say that Oliver's not smart enough to make his own choices, so I'm going to make him. I'm just kidding. No. I'm kind of in the same boat where it is tough for me though. I did say it as a joke, but I think it's kind of like I want to introduce him to as many sports as I can until one kind of clicks with him. But until he gets a certain age, he probably won't even know if he likes it because he's going to be more interested in coloring stuff and picking his nose. So I don't know it. That's like that's really, the sports question is deeper than I thought.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough because I know for me, there are things that I gave up on as a kid that I wished my parents
would have pushed you a little more
me to keep doing.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's why it's hard for me because of my own experiences. Like, this isn't sports related, but the first instrument I ever learned was piano.
Me too.
And I quit after 3 months because at the time I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But man, like, would I kill to be able to play piano now or to be really good at playing piano? Like, I love music, but I didn't love music as a 12-year-old. Who cares? All I cared about was like watching cartoons and eating pizza, which I still love watching cartoons and eating pizza. But it'd be cool to do those things while playing piano. But I don't know. So it's hard for me. I don't know why the sports question get deep. Screw you, Isaac. But I think it's hard. So, but I'm definitely gonna make him not make him.
You will.
I'm definitely gonna have him play soccer.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that gives you so many fundamentals for anything.
Yeah, just like athleticism and everything. Not to get to the details, but
yeah.
I played soccer. It was a lot of fun for me, but I definitely think that was one of the sports that I should have pursued versus other sports. But soccer wasn't as cool.
Yeah.
But now it's cool, but it's not. There's potential, and so I think it's sky's the limit for soccer players.
I agree.
In the U.S.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on because that question is also another one I could just ramble on. He also said, how important is it to share your personal values with your child?
I think that one's huge. I think it's super important.
Yeah,
like I don't know how like you dive into that more. It's just that's sharing who you are. I think is huge for your kid to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they understand you, they understand the reason, like the whys of like what you say and what you do.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
I mean, you could just rabbit hole that one too.
Exactly. I mean, I think
some
it's
good questions.
The way it goes. Yeah, Isaac really.
Thanks,
really
Isaac.
Deep there. And then, for the last question, this is from somebody.
Somebody.
I know who it is.
That you
but
used to
I'm
know?
going to say after the question because he's right here. It says, "Can we afford Overlanders yet?"
That was from me.
Yeah, it was from Chris.
We cannot
cannot.
afford Overlanders.
But we'll get there eventually.
Not yet. But that's a goal. That's a this year goal actually.
But yeah, that wraps it up for the questions for. Oh my gosh.
Got no hands.
I know. But I played soccer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wraps up the questions. But that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, but if you feel like there's something else you want to know that we didn't answer, or
yes, if you want us to do this again next week or plan out a time, like we can absolutely figure out some more questions. If y'all
have a
shoot 'em our
question,
way.
we'll answer it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'll say we don't have a ton of experience, but we can always give perspective. Like we said last week, want to grow with you or grow with us. I guess we would be growing with them too.
Yeah.
God, talking is hard.
it's very hard, very hard.
Oh.
But yeah, I think overall, I'm just excited about the support we got just with the first episode.
Stoked.
I wasn't expecting that many people. Like,
so
I know
stoked.
to people who like, whether if you're like one of my friends who are, I don't know, like big into the YouTube world. Like, I know like 70 subscribers isn't a crazy amount, but for that to be like off of our first video and having like some close friends,
I think,
really be supportive.
I think that was the biggest thing. Is like one, close friends being supportive, and also like my wife watching the first video and being like, I really enjoyed it. She was like, oh, I didn't realize it was that long because she sat there and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. I could do this.
Yeah.
It's huge.
We didn't get made fun of by anybody, which was awesome.
that was not no
Might
ridicule,
after this
just
episode,
support.
though.
Yeah.
I was saying like so much, but
You can go back and see me say 1,000 times on the first one.
yeah, we'll do a yeah counter.
Yeah. I'm just being engaged, okay?
But yeah, just excited for the support and to see where this goes. It's only the second episode, so it's only going to go up from here.
Yeah, like Mark said, only up from here.
Exactly.
I'll say we'll keep it going. That was the goal. Consistency, tough it out. I'm excited to see, the trajectory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know if next episode we will, but a goal is to start having some guests.
Yeah.
That was something I meant to say earlier in the episode, but it's not just going to be us being idiots for 45 minutes to an hour. We just want to get the ball rolling and make sure we're consistent, and then we're going to start featuring some guests, some dads, some moms, just trying to give every angle possible in being a parent, but also just life. This podcast isn't just about being a dad.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, like, we're in our 20s and we want to be able to share, like, what we have.
Yeah.
And then also just talk about being in our 20s. It's like, it doesn't have to be anything, like, super crazy. Like, we can just, like, how we started, talk about movies we like, music we like, things we don't like, and, kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do some episodes where we get some local creative people as well who aren't parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
On here, just to kind of get their perspective, have them ask us questions too. So it'll be fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun episodes this year and some cool stuff. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hype, actually.
I gotta stop saying fun and cool.
I keep telling you I'm excited, and I'm hype, so we just get a bunch of word counters.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Not the finger guns.
Yeah, the finger guns, baby!
We're gonna get Sup Y'all with a finger gun t-shirt.
We're out.
Ow, my hip again.